Hello, I would like to present a new programming abstraction to provide data-directed contextual relevance in the IoT. To begin, it is important to understand that for data in the IoT to be relevant, its context, specifically spatiotemporal context, is very important. For example, data that the light is on isn't very helpful without the context that it is the light in your bedroom that is on. Or a game that knows there are 30 monsters that exist won't be as fun as knowing that there are 2 monsters near you. For an application developer to take advantage of contextual relevance, they would need to create a system that can determine what is relevant. Current approaches often group data together with a strict set of rules that are not easily changed. Writing these systems takes time and pulls the developer away from improving their application's experience. To solve this problem, we created the datalet, which is a combination of the important data and policies that govern when, where, and to whom the data is available. It is an abstraction for developers to easily create and consume data when it is most relevant. To demonstrate how datalets can be used inside of an application, we wrote a Monster Hunter augmented reality game, similar to the wildly popular game Pokemon Go. Let's take a look. Here is a list of previously created monsters inside of our application. Each one of these monsters is actually an individual datalet. Let's try creating our own. First, we should go ahead and give our monster a name. King Kong seems like a good name. Now let's give it a description, something to help the players understand what they are seeing. Now that we have that out of the way, let's pick where this monster will exist in the game. While picking a location, we can see where our monster will be available. Let's increase the size of its zone to 300 meters. Now that we've picked the location, we should choose at what time King Kong should be available. We can pick that it was first available on November 1st, starting at 5 p.m. We can make it so that he is available for 1 hour from that time. After that, let's make this repeat daily until the end of the month. We can see our monster is available to players that are within 300 meters of it. We can also choose the range within which a player's level must be to gain access to our monster. Now that we have everything selected, let's take a look at the code that a developer would have to write to make a datalet like this. Here is a simple function we use to create a monster. Using the values received from user input, little extra code is needed to create the data and its policies. First, we create the policy that determines when the monster is available by creating a schedule condition. The next step is to create the policy that determines what players can see the monster. This is done by creating an AND of a location and user's profile conditions. After that, all that is left is to add the name and description and use the datalet's REST client class to send the datalet to the server. Let's see what that created monster looks like in the application. By selecting King Kong, we can see that currently 2 players have access. We can get a better look using the map. Here we can see the monster represented by an orange marker and a green circle that is its 300 meter zone. The other markers are players in the game. Inside the circle we have 2 green players, Emily Jackson and Joe Smith. These are the 2 players with access to King Kong. The 4 red players are ones that don't have access to him, either because they are outside the zone or they are not of the correct level. To see how a player perceives the monsters, let's take a look at Joe Smith. He can actually see 2 monsters currently, and if we look at the map, we can see where they are. Here Joe is in blue and the 2 monsters are in orange. Since only a datalet knows when it is relevant, Joe can only see the data of the monsters and not their respective availability zones. The code for the developer to get the available datalets for a user is very simple. If we take a look at that code, we can see that the developer only has to make one call using our datalet REST client. This call will get the available datalets and return them to the developer. Using our example Monster Hunter app, we have shown how easy datalets make it for developers to create and consume contextually relevant IoT data. Thank you for taking the time to learn about datalets with us.